What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the BenQ DP1310 hybrid dock. And you're going to want to stick around for this one because this dock packs one key feature others don't. And if you use your desk for more than just work, I'm talking games, you're probably going to like what it is. And it all happens with the press of this green button right here. Hey, you guys still haven't seen the setup or unboxing yet. Come back in a few minutes and then we're going to get into that green button. We'll make this quick for you guys since I know you want to get to the good stuff and see what this dock can do. It's nice to see less plastic used here. The box is fully recyclable, has a nice diagram of all the ports right in the front. I'll dive into these in a little more detail on the actual unit itself coming up soon. Big reminder for this dock in red, you need to download DisplayLink drivers for this to work. But once you have that downloaded, you're ready to plug and play. Right under the start guides, we have the dock itself, and on the front, we get a 3.5mm headset jack, a 10GB USB-C with power delivery up to 36 watts, and two 10GB Type A ports, along with this big green button. Flipping it over to the rear, we have another 3 Type A ports, 2 for peripherals with a 480 megabit speed, another 10GB Type A, and your output options that will run DisplayLink. Here we have HDMI and DisplayPort, and next to that, one of the key features of this dock, we have the HDMI 2.1 in and the HDMI 2.1 out. This is where all the magic happens, where your console or PC will be plugged in, but more on that coming up. Lastly, we have the USB-C with power delivery up to 100 watts for our host connection and our DC input. For those of you who like a quick satisfying peel, here you go. On the bottom, we have these little rubber feet that you can fit in these grill slots, and they are removable. So if you do want to position this vertically, you don't have to have these rubber feet on the side. So that is one nice thing. This can be vertical or horizontal. Back in the box, we have a 180 watt power brick. Pretty nice to see. We get a lot of juice with this device. Our USB-C 3.2 cable to connect to our host device, and a certified HDMI 2.1 cable. And here's what it looks like all laid out. All right, so now that we got this thing unboxed, let's go ahead and get it plugged in, and I have just the spot. I had another USB dock right here. This is the pluggable dock, so I have all my USB cables, HDMI stuff right here. This one also had DisplayLink, so I should just have to plug this one in and we'll be good to go. But a quick reminder again, make sure you have that downloaded if you are getting this dock. One thing I am excited about, I'll tell you right off the bat, is that this one had no USB-C and this one does. It also has a few more USB ports, well actually just one more USB port on the back, and I needed 3 in the back, so I'll have a clean front end, which will look pretty nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in, and I'll give you a little tour of what my setup looks like so you have an idea what we're working with. All right, so here is my setup right now. Starting on the far right corner, we have my gaming PC, we have my MacBook Pro, we have 2 4K monitors, and then on the USB front, we have a USB cable going to these for higher quality audio. We have a USB powered webcam, and then we have the Blue Yeti microphone, which is all running on USB as well. So these are gonna get plugged into these USB slots. We're gonna have one of these outputs going to this monitor right here. So that's gonna be the DisplayLink. And then this monitor and this Mac and PC will be sharing the input from our host connection here. And then we're also gonna have the input to HDMI 2.1 in coming off the graphics card on my PC. And that's what all these cables are right now. So we have the USB-C, the HDMI, the USBs, and the DisplayPort. So let's go ahead and get this plugged in and I'll show you guys what it can do. All right, so we got it set up, it's unboxed. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for, and it all happens with this green button right here. And yes, it is now time. So all we need to do is press this button, and as you can see, here it is. We now have my gaming PC pulled up on this device. So this green button right here with a quick tap is a switching mechanism. So that shares the input with our laptop here and our gaming PC. So that HDMI 2.1 is being used by both, where we can quickly switch between devices. So this is really nice because a lot of times higher end monitors will take the Samsung, for example, will have only one HDMI 2.1 device. So instead of having to go to the back of your monitor, change your HDMI cables around, move some cables around, check the input underneath and adjust it that way, we get a quick button right here to do it all. And on top of that, we get a really nice dock with that. So we get the USB-Cs, we get the Type A's, we get the USBs on the back. So we get a lot of options on top of a quick switching device, which I think is what makes this dock so good. So let's break it all down now. So I want to share with you guys some of the things I really like about this and some things that I wish were a little bit better. So obviously the big ticket item here, the number one thing, the reason why you would buy this dock is this switching feature. I think it's pretty cool. I have not seen it on any other dock. So being able to do that, especially with HDMI 2.1, is huge because you can take full advantage of your console's output. You can do 8K 60, you can do 4K 120, or even 4K 144 if you're using a gaming PC, and being able to just press this is quite nice. Now, the one thing that I wish were better, and it's maybe something you've already thought about, is that there is no KVM switch with this device. So if I were to have a mouse and keyboard plugged into this, or let's say my webcam and my microphone, every time I press that button, they're not going to switch between laptop and gaming PC. It's not the biggest deal in the world. My main mouse and keyboard is this one right here, so all I have to do is press the button on here. It's going to go ahead and switch over via Bluetooth. But if I want to bring down my gaming keyboard, which sits on a shelf, and maybe you guys have your gaming keyboard on a shelf too, it's not like I have to go ahead and take a ton of time to get it plugged in and get it set up. And usually if you have a console, it's just going to be a controller anyway. So for $299, I think it is well positioned in the market. Obviously there are docks that are cheaper like this one. They don't give you the quick switching. They don't give you HDMI 2.1. There are docks that are much more expensive. We're talking like $600 Thunderbolt docks. But this sits right in the middle, and I think it does a really good job where it's at. And overall, it's a great little device where you can quickly switch between your setup and your PC. And that's exactly who this device was made for. So it does a really good job at its intended purpose. So there it is. If you guys like the video, maybe you want to help a small channel, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Anything else you'll need will be linked in the description. Some more information about this dock, Amazon links to buy it if you want to pick it up. And thanks so much for watching, guys. See you on the next one.